I have a question for you this morning. I want you to get up and I want you to go look at yourself in the mirror. Right now, don't stop, don't do anything, but go and look at yourself in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see someone who is just about ready to head out the door to go to work? Your hair's fixed just right. You've got the right accessories to complement the makeup on your face and the clothes that you're wearing. Or are you just getting up? It's still quiet in the house. You were sitting down, getting ready to have that first cup of coffee. Your hair is probably still tasseled or maybe pulled back just in a ponytail. You might be wearing a t-shirt that you slept in, or maybe you're all snuggled up in a robe. But what do you really look like? That is the question that we're going to be considering today. And I want you to think about that question as we go through the devotional. And I also want to tweak it just a little bit to say, what if the way you looked right now was the first impression of a total stranger? Or maybe someone that has been observing you for a few days. What would be their conclusion? Think on that for just a minute. Our devotional today is coming from the First Peter 3 verses 3 and 4. I'm sorry, the print on these are just so little sometimes. But before we get into that, let me say, welcome into you. My name is Maureen, and this is my crochet story. I come to you each day to share with you my little devotionals that come from this book entitled Be Still and Know. Now, it's put out by Broad Street Publishers, and I've left a link for you down in the description box so that if you wish to go and purchase your own copy to have for the rest of the year, or just to have, carry around in a pocketbook, whatever, you can have it and you won't have to go looking for it. Just follow that link. Our title for the devotional today is Adornment. You see where that question was going? Adornment. So let's look to see what First Peter has to say for us. Do not let your adornment be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart, with the uncorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. Women like to look their best. This usually means wearing the right clothes, hairstyle, and accessories to match. Sometimes just getting our hair just right can be the difference between a good day or a bad day. Hence, I'm having a bad hair day. We need to admit our superficial nature and recognize when we are prioritizing outward appearance over inner beauty. The Bible doesn't condemn outward adornment. Rather, it advises that we pay more attention to the hidden person of the heart. Who is on the inside? Are you doing your best to make that person beautiful? Beauty to God is a gentle and quiet spirit. Lord, I know I don't always act as gentleness towards others. I know I could do better maintaining a quiet spirit. Help me to develop and to display those qualities that are truly beautiful. Now, I have to share with you personal experience. When I was teaching, one of the pieces of advice that was given to me by my mentor teacher was always look your best for the students, because you are setting an example of what they can become. Help them to realize that they have a purpose, that they are worth something to the outside world. So I always made sure that as our discussion said this morning, that my hair was fixed. Now, was it always down like this and curled, dyed? No, sometimes, I would pull it back in a ponytail, but I always made sure that that ponytail laid just right, you know? Um, Now, I was old school. Very rarely did you see me in a pair of pants at school. I always wore skirts and a top, sometimes a sweater. I mean, to me, that's just what a teacher needed to look like. Like I said, I'm old school. I kind of emulated my teachers that I had in school, and the women always wore dresses and skirts. So that's kind of the picture that I wanted to give. I also wanted to make sure that I exuded confidence in my subject. Was I always confident in my subject? No. Because sometimes, especially when you would get students, now I'm talking from the math classroom, when you wanted to get them to that level of abstract thinking, taking everything they already knew and thinking outside of the box, sometimes even that was stretching my abstract thinking. But I tell you all this to say that many times the students saw this confident adult standing there before them, um, telling them, I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to lead you through this journey of what you need to learn. They needed to know that I was very confident in my subject. But what they didn't always see was that sometimes on the inside, I had a little struggle. I wasn't all that confident in being able to teach all of my students at different learning levels at the same time. But like I said, I couldn't let them see that. Now, moving forward, being retired, I don't always have to get up and put on makeup. In fact, there's very few times that I can tell you in the last few years that I've even put on makeup. Freedom! I don't always fix my hair. Now, the one thing you will very rarely see is that whenever I wash my hair, this straightness that you see, no, 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 no. It is a wild and bushy, they're not even pretty Shirley Temple curls. You know what I mean? It's just all wild, and the more it dries, the more it grows. But there are times even when I don't care about that. I just let it. I just stand out there if there's a nice breeze and the temperature is just right, and I'll just run my fingers through my hair to get the hair dry, and I might pull that back in a ponytail. I'm not as concerned now in the outward appearance because, and I'm going to say shame on me at this moment, I'm more focused on the inward me, which is something I really should have been doing all along. I should have concentrated more on the inward me and not worried so much about the outward me. I want my inward me to be adorned with that quiet and gentle spirit. I want others to see that God is a loving God. I want others to see that God is a merciful God. God is my one true, all weather, peaks and valleys friend. But above all, He is my creator. And you know what, folks? To God, it doesn't matter what we look like on the outside. It doesn't matter how much makeup we put on, if we have the most trending style for our hair, uh, even if we color it or not. He doesn't care if we've gone out and spent the most money on the most beautiful set of clothes, shoes, that we have He is not concerned with all of that, and we shouldn't be either. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be comfortable in our skin. And if that means that you're comfortable in a t-shirt and sweatpants, or your hair pulled back in a ponytail with just a little bit of makeup, then go for it. Now, if you like to dress up every day, put your makeup on every day, make sure that your hair is styled just right, whether you're going out or not. If that's what you want to look good, to feel good, that's okay too. But just know that you don't have to do that for God. God wants us to be in fellowship with Him. God wants us to take that love, that spirit of forgiveness, and show it for others. It is just so important that we don't be judged by the cover of the book of our life. It's more important that others see what we have and that they want it too. They want that peace. They want that love. They want that assurance that they are worth what God created them for. I hope that you know what your worth is to God. I hope that you know what your purpose is for Him. And I also hope that you know that in order to do God's work doesn't mean that you have to be all dolled up and decked out to the nines in order to do it. Because those that are in need, that are suffering and hurting, that's not what they need to see from us. They need to see that loving, gentle spirit that God has and that it is exuding from us to them. Think on that today, please. Think on being more gentle, more loving to everyone around you, and let them know that it is coming from your heart. Because as the little prayer said, Lord, fill my heart with gentleness, with a loving spirit, and see what He can do for you through that. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I do hope that you'll be here tomorrow, because tomorrow's devotional will continue with being still and knowing that He is our God. Until then, please remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your light they need to see. I love you guys. Bye.